A lot can be learned in 50 years of business ownership. Today, my guest is Doug Greenup. Doug is an owner, investor, entrepreneur. He's purchased and sold companies, and he's currently an investor in Mission Coffee and an owner of commercial real estate in downtown Snohomish, Washington. There's a lot to share and a lot of lessons learned in 50 years of entrepreneurship, so please enjoy this conversation with Doug Greenup. You have been an entrepreneur for 50 years. You've got commercial real estate, you're an investor, you've built and sold companies. I want to know, what is the most important lesson that you learned and who taught it to you?
You know, parents, I was very blessed growing up. For those that might be listening to this, they're kind of in my age group. They probably remember the TV series, The Wonder Years. I grew up in The Wonder Years. I had a wonderful dad and an amazing mom. My mom was a little unusual for the period because she really wasn't a housewife. She was actually a businesswoman in her own right and was quite successful. Her lessons, what she experienced, what my dad experienced, they were both very much into business, in investing, about taking responsibility. You've got to work, put yourself out there. There's going to be setbacks. And so they helped me to understand how to overcome adversity. Is something that every entrepreneur, I think if you were to ask Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, or some of the amazing entrepreneurs that this country has fostered, they'll probably speak as well to the adversity that they encountered and overcame. For both my brother and myself, I mean, the upbringing was what it was all about. We weren't particularly rich or anything else, and both he and I had paper routes, mowed lawns, and we did all those things.
What was the most important lesson that you learned in there?
Frankly, it is about the work ethic. You need to be prepared. If you really want your own business, you're going to need to put the hours in. You need to research. You need to really understand the marketplace that you're going to pursue, what the competition is. There's a lot of things, but it all gets back to a work ethic. I think back on all those years, I don't think I've ever worked so hard. But you know, the reward is amazing because you own it. I love being the one that makes the call, makes the decision. Certainly there's a team. Absolutely, you can't do anything without one. Coming up with an idea in the shower, over lunch or something. I'm still amazed at some of the things that happened where I had this idea and kept thinking about it and then transformed it into a product that people would actually buy. And just the idea, and then having amazing people who could execute on the idea. Companies would actually buy it.
An idea to a product that people want to consume.
Yes, but the effort involved, it seems simple, but again, it gets back to putting these hours in, research, working with people, and there's just a lot of effort and time, and it's not for everybody.
In 50 years of doing business, pardon the interruption, but I wanted to share something with you. This video is sponsored by the Neo Experience app, and it's our way to help people no matter where they are in their homeownership journey. So whether you already have a home and you're looking to make a move, or whether you're just trying to get on the housing ladder, this app is going to give you a ton of tools to help you reach your housing goals. Now, to access it, you can visit www.homeownersuccessapp.com and sign up there completely free, or you can just check out the link in the description. If you're on your phone already, you can also visit the App Store and download the Neo Experience app, and then just use the activation code Humphrey to make it completely free for you. Thanks so much for watching. Now, back to the video. In 50 years of doing business,
Yes.
How important is it to iterate and not get stuck in the same product or service?
We started out at Minisoft building basically software that would allow you to extract data from legacy databases of the time. There were a lot of computer systems out there, a lot of different databases and stuff, and there wasn't software that would allow you to get at that data and then report on that data. And so we built a product that allowed you to do that. What happened was that the computer systems that we built all of this for went away. Our marketplace, it was pretty clear microcomputers, hence Microsoft. We being Minisoft, building software for mini computers. The ground was shifting under our feet, before our eyes, and so we had to really adapt. We took the concept of connectivity, we're reporting. Maybe we could take that a little further and get into shipping documents and those kinds of things. So taking the concept of generating output in support of something we believed at the time, and it turned out to be so, would still need to print hard copy stuff. That's an example of my opportunity is evaporating, and so I need to shift. Either you reinvent yourself completely, or what you do is you take what you have and see how you could adapt it to something else, and that something else maybe is a more stable, a world that's going to be there a while, and you can make an enduring business out of it. We encountered a lot of those things. It's a very difficult thing.
Good for you, though, for seeing a new need and being really speedy to it. That's a fantastic skill set.
And that's where the team comes in. People that are listening to this probably be surprised. I'm not a software engineer. My major was accounting and finance, obviously a salesman. And so what I had to find is some really strong developers that I could trust, that I could really work with. Developers are a much different personality, not much than a salesperson. And so being able to cross that divide, to build bridges, try to understand where they're coming from, so that was quite a challenge too. But I was lucky, found some great individuals that stuck with me through for all those years. We're able to execute on that pivot to that next thing. Take what we have, adapt, and then enhance it.
What you effectively did is you said, instead of creating a product, you said, who can I serve? And then met all of that person's needs.
That's exactly right. We had this amazing technology. How can we adapt it to a need or needs that are out there? Seems easy. It actually wasn't. There were a lot of sleepless nights and where I was trying to research really fast.
I can only imagine how many minutes you had to pay for.
It was a lot.
In my opinion, I think business is the ultimate sport. And I always watch people who are in athletics get smarter about the game that they play. So now I want to go back. You are not 18 anymore, let's just say that. If you could give 18-year-old Doug a word of advice with the benefit of hindsight, what would you tell him?
I would say, first thing is, learn to be humble. It's hard. Humble is good. People don't like arrogance. People don't like that. Humble would be the most important thing. He didn't have a problem with working hard, but working smart was probably something he didn't do. And so it was more of a brute force thing. I think the other thing I would suggest to young Doug is get busy learning. Got a lot to learn, young man. Let's get on it. And never stop reading, never stop growing, never stop getting better. Never think you've arrived, never think you're all it, you're all that. I found myself competing in later years against younger fellows and ladies and stuff. It's kind of amusing thinking about it because they would make such basic mistakes. Now, these were mistakes young Doug would have made, but old Doug didn't make those mistakes in terms of follow-up and how the quote should be and the proposal. All of that came from experience, came from learning, and also learning from older. First got into the tech business and it was sales. I had the benefit of some amazing mentors that were older. Now, at the time, I wasn't asking for it, but they were volunteering. And thank God I listened a little bit to some of it. I should have listened to more of it because they were very good, very accomplished salespeople at that time. And so that would be the other thing I would suggest to young Doug.
Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. If you would like to get in touch with Doug to hear any more about his upcoming projects or what's going on with the Marks Building in Snohomish, I will leave his information in the show notes in the description below. But of course, until next time, take care and be well.